Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. For those of you who are new here, my name is Donna, and for those of you not new, thank you so much for continuing to come and support me. I appreciate every single one of you for clicking on my video. I know that you don't have to, so it warms my heart so very much that you do. Today, we are doing the next installment in my palette roulette series, in which I let an app choose a palette for me that I will continue to use until I go over that palette with you and pick a new palette to use with said app. With that being said, this video was supposed to go up Monday, and we all know that I've been having problems with my technologies these days, and I am apparently a tech tard and I can't get my shit together. But I did record it, or at least I thought I recorded it. It appears that I pressed off when I should have pressed on, and then pressed on when I thought I was pressing off, and recorded just the few minutes of me pressing the button and walking away from the camera instead of the whole entirety of the video. So I am a dummy, and I can't forever blame my camera and my computer for the technological issues that I'm having, because apparently some of it is all me. With that being said, I'm recording this again. I did go ahead and use some of the newer palettes in my collection this week, and just kind of had a free-for-all with paletting, except for today, and just start anew. Thank you guys for joining me today. This is my 4th of July look. Today is 4th of July, and a lot of that was done with this palette. So let's talk about this palette. So this is the Urban Decay Full Spectrum palette, and this is what the palette looks like. I love the little tactile nature of this. Like, feeling it with your hand is pretty amazing. These guys are really cool. They are raised jewels in this palette, and this palette is one of the first palettes that I ever purchased when I first started getting into makeup. So in 2017, right after Christmas, well, 2016, right after Christmas, I ordered some things from Sephora. This is one of those palettes. This one and the Urban Decay Electric, and then a couple palettes for my daughter. If you guys know anything about the Urban Decay Electric, you know that it is a very awesome rainbow palette, one of my favorites, and then this one is also a rainbow palette. I ordered these, I got them in, and my boyfriend was like, "You never wear makeup. Why did you buy those? You have this habit of spending money on pretty things and then never doing anything with them." So I used the poop out of these palettes in the beginning. Then I decided I didn't like this one as much as I like the Urban Decay Electric, so I put this one down and never picked it back up until 2 weeks ago. Well, I guess right now it's a week and a half ago, when I pulled it in my palette roulette series. This was the 2016 Holiday Limited Edition palette for Urban Decay, and originally was $55. I think I purchased it for somewhere around $39 in late December, early January. I can't remember which. I did get it in late January, so I want to say I purchased it in early January. And currently I saw it on eBay for $29.99, so not that much less than what I had purchased it for 3 years ago almost at this point. But with that being said, I also don't know if that one on eBay is an actual Urban Decay full spectrum palette. So be careful. What I'm saying is be careful what you purchase on eBay, because it may not be this palette. So this, the limited edition 2016 holiday palette for Urban Decay, came after a limited edition Spectrum palette in 2015 that was kind of set up the same way, but not. It was two separate pieces, and it was just really weird, but very pretty, and it was more along the same kind of thought process as this one, with the color families organized the way they are, and the, you know, rectangular shade pans and that kind of stuff. But I think that one had 15 shades in it, I think. This does have 21 shades. You open it up and it has a crazy awesome mirror, and it is stuck together. What I don't like about it being stuck together is it only goes back this far, so you can't like necessarily fold it back on itself, and it is an amazing mirror, but if you hold it up to do your makeup, it gets really heavy to hold. So there's that. These shades in here are beautiful. They're organized by color family, and they go from the darker ones on top to the like bright ones, bright neons, and then like more of a pastel feel. There are, you know, the 5 different color ranges in here, or 6 different color ranges in here, sorry, the pink, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, and then you have your wild card row, which is white going up to what is supposed to be a black, but is actually more of a gray. There are mattes, satins, and metallics in here, but most of them are mattes and satins. I don't mind any of them as far as the formulation goes, but I don't really prefer these metallics or shimmers to other Urban Decay metallics and shimmers. These ones are fairly weak, if we're gonna be honest. I didn't really notice any fallout with this palette, but I did notice that they are quite a bit powdery, if you guys can see all the powder all over the place in this palette. I didn't use a whole lot of this top row here. Most of them have a real black base, so this one of course, and then this blue right here, this green, and this kind of like rusty orange yellow color, maybe even olive is what it's supposed to be. They have a black base, so once you get them on your eyes and you start to blend them out, they just look black or gray on your eyes. I do have quite a bit of looks that are probably filtering in here, and some of them were not amazing. I did have so much fun with this palette though. I found myself using this green here over and over and over again. Green is my favorite color. Chartreuse is my absolute favorite green color, so this one reminded me a lot of it, and it is called Mean. So I don't know. I think it's awesome. I love that you can do pretty much any rainbow look with this palette that you want to, but I also love that they are, you know, filtered into these color rows. So if you wanted a monochromatic look, you wouldn't have to go very far into your guessing game in your head to figure that out with this palette. I know that there are some palettes that are built that way currently. I like this one best, and I don't know why. This pink right here is beautiful. It is a really just, oh my god, so pretty pink color. Does that like washed out? This pink right here, I feel like it's washed out. Yeah, that's a really pretty pink color, and I did mix it with a darker red color to get this red in my eye look, and then it still came out a whole lot pink, so then I put some of the liquid lipstick that I have on my face also in my eye look, so that red just kind of popped more as a red. I do have this blue and this blue mixed together as the blue in my eye look. As you can see, it does have lighter blue tones and darker blue tones, so where the darker blue tones are is where this one was more saturated than the other one. I do love this. I also used the Carity Mattes palette that I have to create this blue look as well. I used this white all over my lid, and then I used some Urban Decay glitter eyeliners on my lid to create the glitterness. This white is the NYX white eyeliner. I love this palette. I had so much fun with this palette, and I am so glad to have it, even though when I first got it, it didn't wow me as much as the Urban Decay Electric palette did, and I was a little taken aback by what I thought was failing pigmentation. It definitely isn't as pigmented as a lot of other Urban Decay shadows are. So if you're looking for that, you know, wham in your face Urban Decay pigmentation that usually exists in their shade range, that isn't in this palette. And I will say this, that most of these colors down here that are the more like pastel in nature really have to be built up for you to like really get any kind of kick from them. The shimmers did not perform exceptionally well with either I wet all my brushes with shimmers, and I Really didn't find that these performed any differently wet than they did dry. I feel like they performed maybe even a little bit better dry than they did wet. When I would wet my brush, the pigmentation on the brush would kind of go away. So I would then take my finger and dig it in the pan and then pat it over the top. And you all know how much I hate using my finger to dig into my palettes, but I did. and when I did, it turned out, you know, it was really powerful, really poppy, but it wasn't amazing. They're not my favorite shimmer formula. This isn't my favorite Urban Decay formula even. I don't know what's different about this formula, but like I said, I didn't use the top row very often because they really just do fade to black or blend to black. And I stuck mainly with these two rows here. I use this white a lot. I used it a lot. It is my brow bone color today. It is also my lid color today. I had a lot of fun with this palette. I'm not going to swatch it. It is 24 or 21 shades of rainbow. I'm sure that you guys can see that it's 24 shades of rainbow. But that pink that I showed you earlier is one of my favorites. This one here, also one of my favorites. That is Mean. That is that chartreusey yellow green color. I really did like this color here as well, which is called Seas, and it's kind of like a corally orange color. I really did like that. I used it a lot. This green here, which is called Hate Hatter, is a beautiful Kelly green. It looks really good on the eye look. I did do a monochromatic green look once. That's the only monochromatic look that I did with this palette, but I absolutely loved it. I had a good time with this palette. I'm not excited to let it go, but at the same time excited to let it go. Oh, P.S. I forgot to tell you, that palette worked better with a tacky base than it did, a tacky white base, than it did with a cream base or a dry base. I used the NYX Milk. Well, actually, I think mine is a JCat Beauty Marshmallow eye pencil, and went over my eyes in white every single day and left it kind of tacky while I was applying the colors so that the color would stand out a little bit more. So that's the kind of eye primer you want to use. So now I'm going to go get something to wash my hands. I'll be right back. It's funny, when I looked at my fingers and saw all the colors on my fingers, I was like, wow, it looks like I colored my fingers with highlighter. You know, you get those packs of highlighters that are like green and yellow and pink and orange. Yeah, that's what my fingers look like. All right, so now we're gonna pull for the next palette, and I have a Samsung Note 9. I use an app that I got from our Play Store called Decide Now, and it's just basically a Wheel of Fortune app. Dani, the inspiration for this channel is Dani. She has, her channel name is P.A.W. She has an iPhone. She uses the same like Wheel of Fortune kind of app for her videos, so I know that you can find these in any of the app stores that are out there, whether it be for iPhone or Play Store. What I did was downloaded this wheel, and then I put all of my palettes into this wheel. And as we use the palettes, I take them out of the wheel. As I get new palettes into my collection, I put them into the wheel. So that at some point, we should have gone through every single palette in my collection, and you should know about every single one of them. I have a lot of palettes, and I continue to bring palettes in. Dani's setup for this series, hers is called Palette a Week, and she used it as a declutter series on her channel. I don't typically use mine as a declutter series. I use mine as a get use out of my things kind of series, and therefore all of my palettes are in here. I have decluttered maybe 6 palettes, and I think this is episode 34. Right? 32, 34. I've decluttered like 6 of those palettes. I don't foresee myself decluttering a lot, but that's not what my series is for. So you put all of everything that you want this thing to decide for you into the wheel, and then you just spin it. All right, this chose the Violet Voss Fun Size HD palette. This is a tiny palette. I think I got it as an add-on to one of my Ipsy bags, so let me go get it real quick. This is the Violet Voss Fun Size HD palette. It is something that I picked up as an add-on to one of my Ipsy bags. It is, Violet Voss is one of my favorite formulas, but it reminds me of a miniature modern Renaissance. And that might be because the HD palette, which you guys should have seen me do in a previous palette roulette, I can link up in the cards, is like a giant modern Renaissance palette. So while I am excited to use this palette because I have yet to touch it, if you guys can see, those are brand new shadows, not even swatched yet. I might filter in some of my single shadows for a little bit of color. We are in the summertime now, and I just feel like this is kind of a fall palette. So I will definitely get some looks out of it that are amazing. If you guys have looks that you want to see, please leave a message down in the comments section, because what I'm finding is that I'm taking pictures of all these looks and they're all starting to kind of look redundant and the same to me. So I try to be amazing, and I try to be different, and this look is very different. But sometimes I just don't have all the creativity in the world, nor all the time in the world to think of things. So if you guys do have a couple moments in your day where you're thinking of me, like, why would you? But if you do, and you know of a look that you want to see with this palette, let me know. Again, like I said, this is like a miniature modern Renaissance palette. So even if it's a look that you've seen that you know is made with the modern Renaissance, I could probably do it with this one. So speaking of, I just had my modern Renaissance chatty get ready with me tutorial-esque thing go up on this channel too. I can link that up in the cards. That video was actually done while I had the modern Renaissance in my palette roulette week. I just uploaded it really super late. So thank you guys so much for coming. I hope that you enjoyed this, or enjoyed me so much that you're thinking about subscribing to my channel. I hope that you'll also give this video a big thumbs up and hit that notification bell so that you're notified every single time I upload, because I am a technological dummy these days and can't get my machines to work for me really well. So let me know what you think down in the comments section. Let me know if there's a look that you'd like for me to produce for you for next week's video with this palette, and I will catch you next time. Thanks so much, guys. Bye.